the games. Ladies and gentlemen, spawning in the bottom right position, it is the red Zerg player from Team Liquid. It is Snute. And spawning in the top right position, it is the purple Terran player from OSC Root Gaming. It is Semper. And I'm super excited to cast one of Semper's games. I haven't been able to watch him play in a very long time, and he was one of the good guys that I've been able to get to know recently, and I've hung out with him a few times. Solid guy. So is Snute, but both players are really solid guys. One of my favorites in the community, and I'm super excited to watch both players. This should be an exciting game, and I want to see what Semper has against Snute. It's going to be quite interesting. Snute versus Semper. I'm going to mess up their names with the double S's. So far, nothing too cheeky from either players. You know, the usual queens, speedlings. So far, coming out from both players. Ironically enough, Semper wants to kind of defend with that Reaper. Didn't really want to go on the attack. It just looks like he just wanted to defend it. Snute coming in here, seeing the barracks, but does not see that factory. Be interesting to see what Semper does with that factory, what he decides to do with it. I love this team. So far, nothing really too exciting happening from other players, which it is what it is, and it happens. We'll see if players start throwing down what their builds are going to be. Like I said before, that's what Semper wanted to do. He wanted to catch that drone as it was trying to go for that third base. Ling's coming in. Reaper's going to be able to get away. Going to jump up there. Going to face the Queen now. One more hit. There we go. Queens take out that Reaper. And these speedlings are actually going to come in here. Might cause some problems for Semper. I mean, a couple Marines are going to come out. Ling's kind of just dancing around. I think what Semper wants to do is try to bait up that Lings to run up that ramp. But Snute's not going to fall for it. Snute just, wisely retreats back just for the moment. Snute going to that third base. 4 minutes in, going for that third base. Kind of late for what Snute normally does. And that is a big planet. If you think about the concept of these maps, we're playing on a platform. Or an asteroid or something. Basically what we're doing on our moon or something like that. So much details. Why would you... There's so much details that's involved with these things. What's that? A little crystal. Okay. Sorry, I'm just entranced by this, Oops, no, that's not what I wanted. I'm just entranced by this map. Alright, here comes a medevac full of Marines. We'll see what they're going to do. Snute sees it. It's on top of this creep. Lands on top of the Zonaga's tower. Gets that vision. Snute sees the attack coming. Responds by getting Queens and Lings out. And Snute is losing his creep from Semper. Semper coming in. Going for that third base. Semper stems forward. They're going to try to snipe this third base, but there's a lot of Queens here, and we saw last time that Crucial was having so much trouble dealing with the amount of Queens. And Semper flies away, heals up a little bit of Marines. Upgrades going down from Semper, just a little bit behind Snute's upgrades, but they're probably going to finish within seconds of each other, so it's not going to be too much of an advantage. Hatchery coming down from Snute with that proxy hatch. Again, Snute really not doing much in the way of tech. He is going for that lair. But we haven't seen if he's going to be jumping into roaches or if he's going to do his normal Muta with Speedling build. We do see from Vision that Snute just sees the medevacs. They are going to drop, and they're going to get the surround on him. But I don't think that. I think there's just too many Marines here and it's going to force Snute to throw in a lot of Lings. Marines drop right here to try to snipe these Overlords. More Lings coming in, trying to get the surround on this. The Queen's focuses down the medevac. One of the medevacs is about to get sniped. But there's just so many Marines here that Snute loses a lot of his Lings. But look, all the Queens here, Transfusion and holy crap! Why can't I think of the name? Another drop going down. Oh, maybe not. Scan goes off just to look at the base, but Semper's only on 2 bases behind all this. Yeah, he's got this 3rd base here, ready to float down. But, you know, 8 minutes in, only on 2 bases is kind of a hard problem for Semper to deal with. Yeah, I think he's just trying to keep Snute back as far as he can, keep him on his toes. Basically, he's going to snipe this base for free. Snute's not going to be able to deal anything with it. Liberator kind of taking out that as well, taking out that Overload in the top left. Queen here. Unfortunately, all these Queens are about to get picked off. Ling's coming in, trying to get the surround on him. Medevacs pick him up and force the escape transfuse going off on that Queen. And Marines coming in, clearing out something. And there's the 3rd base. And Snute will just barely miss that 3rd base. Unfortunately, but you might be able to see the SUVs if they start coming down. And there they go. Now he will see the SUV, so he will know that there's a 3rd base there. So now he sees it. He's like, okay, you move that base. And he's probably going to go for a counterattack on that. Semper coming into that 4th base of Snute. Snute's army is completely not with this. And he's going to lose this 4th base. And it goes completely sniped. And unfortunately for Snute, he's just not going to be able to get his 3rd base up. And behind this, we just see Widowmines landing on top of all these Lings. And so much damage was done to those Lings. And he just wasn't able to get a good counterattack on it. More Lings coming in. But it's not going to be enough. Snute has the mutas out now, which is great. Gotta stop the medevacs, but he needs to get the higher. Needs to get him going. Needs to get that count up and going. +2 tier 2 for the melee attack and the carapace, and the flyer upgrade going down for Snute will finish in just enough time. But we do see the armor upgrade going down from Semper. We'll see if he jumps into Thors or just keeps the Banelings, or excuse me, keeps the medevacs with the Marines. Tier 2 upgrade for Semper is about to finish, basically at the same time as the Tier 2 upgrade for Liquid Snute. But looks like behind this, Snute goes for his 4th base and 5th base at the same time. Another medevac full of Marines coming in, and that is a huge battle army. And like I said, both players are on the +2. Right now, Snute has the advantage just by maybe 10 more seconds. And Mutas coming in, trying to do some damage. Looks like they're trying to poke around, maybe cause the army to go towards them, and then they'll try to sweep around with the Banes. But that's a lot of creep tumors. Da da da. And Burrow upgrade starts for Snute. And let's see what he decides to do with this. Scans are going to go down, clear out these tumors, of course. Bane's coming in, trying to get on top of that map, but they're just not going to be able to. And the Marine goes there to see if that 3rd base is there. Bane's landing on top of this, but completely gets destroyed by the Liberators and the Widowmines. And unfortunately for Snute, I mean, he's got a lot of Banes here left, yes, but those Liberators are going to cause so much problems. And here comes a counterattack, it looks like. A lot of links streaming from the right-hand side of Semper. But there's a lot of medevacs in here, which means a lot of Widowmines in this army, so I don't know exactly what Snute's going to do with this. Bane's coming on top of this, going to try to get on top of it, but there's just so much Liberators doing so much damage to these Banes, and the Banes are forced to go back. And the Lings got cleaned up here at the same time, the ones that try to sneak around, where they just weren't able to. And here comes a huge attack from Semper. It's trying to snipe Liquid Snute's 4th base. Muta's coming on top of this as well, trying to get the surround on this base, focusing down the medevacs. But just so much army here from Semper that I don't think Snute's going to be able to penetrate it. Here comes a drop going on the north-hand side of Snute's base. Looks like he's going to go for the 5th base of Snute. And behind this, Semper is going to go for that 4th base. Here comes the drop from Semper. At the same time, the Mutas are going to go for a counterattack of their own. They're going to snipe that Marine there. And it's going to force this army back, it looks like. The Changelings get spotted, get sniped right away. And here comes a counterattack. Small run by from Semper. At the same time, he's going to run down the middle of this map there. Snute's forcing his army to go all the way back. And as soon as Semper sees that this army is far away, he's going to come in and try to snipe as much as he can. The Liberators are coming in, and here comes the rest of Snute's army. Snute's army definitely needs to get on top of this. Maybe needs to come in from the backhand side of these Liberators. And it looks like Snute's about to lose his 4th base. Lee's coming in. He's going to snipe the Liberators, which is great. A lot of Bane hits, a lot of Liberator hits. But is this just too much for Snute to handle? It looks like he's coming out a little far ahead, but here comes a second wave of Liberators and Widow Mines. A lot of Widow Mine detonations going off, taking out a lot of the Banes and forcing Snute to go back yet again. Here comes Marines. And Marines are about to finish their +3 of their tier 3 upgrade. And Snute, unfortunately, doesn't have his Hive Tech. And he won't have +2, or we won't have this +3. So these Marines are going to be so strong and do so much damage against Snute's Bane army. Here comes another drop going on the right-hand side of Snute. And here comes a counterattack from Snute. They're going to try to get into Semper's 4th base, but I just don't think he's going to be able to do it right now. Semper coming in, going to have a big drop here at Snute's 5th base. Going to force Snute to pull his entire army. And from here, Root is going to pull in from the south, try to do some damage as well. Medevac's going to come in, going to get completely picked off. And it doesn't really matter that he picked up that 1 Medevac. He's going to have a lot more to deal with. And just look at his command center. There's going to be another one putting down from Semper. Semper needs to do... he's doing a great job at picking across. Doing a great job of picking apart Snute thus far. Bane's trying to come in, but there's Widow Mines in this army now. And Snute needs to run around. I think that's what he's doing. What is he doing? Oh, Widow Mine goes in and gets a couple good hits off those Banelings. Banes need to burrow. He researched burrow. He needs to burrow him. Put him maybe on that ramp or something. This is what Snute was preparing for, this attack coming in. This Medevac looks like he's going to snipe it again real quick. And more Banes getting morphed in for Snute. And like I said, Snute's only on a tier 2 upgrade. He doesn't even have a hive up, doesn't even have an infestation pet to get the hive. And he's trying to fight against Semper's 3 of 3 Marines. And 5th base going down from Semper. And here comes a huge attack from Semper, going right up the middle. The Widow Mine's putting down, but they're not able to get the detonation that they want to. Semper gets the scan off, sees the Banes, and the Mutas are kind of flying. They're going to hit all these missile turrets. I don't think that's a good trade. And Ling's coming in from the left-hand side of Semper, and Semper scanning the army, seeing what there is to see. And both Semper and Snute doesn't want to throw away each other's armies, and it's such a small map that eventually they're going to basically run out of money. But Snute needs to do something to take another base. I mean, he doesn't have much in the way of resources. He doesn't have a limited supply. Terran will always outmine the Zerg because of the mules, and right now he's on even bases with Semper, so it's going to pose a big problem if he can't get an attack going. Looks like Snute's going to try to come around for some sort of counterattack, but he just can't get a good position. He can't do it without sacrificing all his Lings, and Snute definitely needs to figure out something. He's just running around right now. Ling's trying to go in, do as much damage as they can, but they're just unfortunately not going to be able to. Snute takes his 6th base right in front of Semper, and Semper rushes in and is going to snipe it real quick. And unfortunately for Snute, there was really nothing he could do about it. Link's going to try to come in right now from Semper, And unfortunately for Snute, I just don't know. I don't think he knows what he wants to do with this army yet. Bane's coming in, trying to get some good hits on top of these Marines, but all of these Widowmines going off. I mean, all the Widowmines got triggered, which is great. So Snute just needs to figure out what he wants to do with this attack and take an attack. Semper has taken a 6th base and he's getting it up and he's building another command center and he's probably going to go for this base here. We see another drop going for Snute's 11 o'clock base. And his mutas are flying around. Again, the +2 armor for the mutas, which is great. But again, he's just not... there we go. He's upgrading to the hive. He needs that 3-3. I think he's going to go for that maybe infestors or the tier 3 upgrade. More links streaming across the map. They're trying to get a huge... they get a huge surround on this, and the Bane's coming in, doing as much damage as they can. Medivacs are landing as much as they can. Links coming in. Mutas flying all the way around. Bane's coming in. It's completely destroying the 4th base of Semper. And Semper losing a majority of his army. And Liquid Snute just pulling away, but Semper reinforcing as much as he can. A lot of the Medivacs survived this, ladies and gentlemen. So it looks like the mutas are going to come in for round 3 with this fight. And Semper losing a lot of his army again. Medivacs dropping like flies. There's mutas focusing down the Medivacs, and the Medivacs are just dropping like pancakes or flies or whatever the terminology you guys want to use. More links coming across the map, and I think Semper won't be able to hold this much longer. Snute did such a good job at picking apart Semper. Semper was doing a very good job at controlling Snute, but it just proved to be too much and took a bad engagement, lost his 5th base, and Snute takes game number 1. And holy smokes, that was a great play from both players. And Semper just doing a great job that entire matchup, and it looks like he was pulling ahead, but just had a couple bad engagements, lost to those Banes, and Snute was able to take the win, moving on to game number 2. And we'll be getting 1 second, ladies and gentlemen. Let's try to get this going. Let's see on Habitation Station. Real quick, guys, I'm trying to add. Sorry, guys, I'm trying to make the map for these guys. And here we go. We're going to be jumping into game number 2. Hopefully I did it on the right settings for these guys. Now he's asked for really interesting requests. But here we go, guys. This is going to be the ESL StarCraft 2 American Cup number 101. 101, guys. Can you believe it? We had Cup 100 last week. Oh. One second, guys. I'm going to throw it to a quick break. I have no idea how to sorry, guys, ladies and gentlemen. We're trying to get the games going here momentarily, so I beg your pardon on that wait. I had to throw it to a quick break. Go to options. But here we go. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. This is going to be game number 2 of Liquid Snute versus Semper, guys. If you want to check out the brackets, make sure you guys hit the I bracket in chat. You check out the brackets and everyone that's playing today. Looks like we have Beyond versus Hellraiser in the first semifinals, and whoever wins this is going to be facing Azure in the second semifinals. So we might have a Beyond Snute finals, guys. Make sure you let everyone know on Twitter. Make sure you know what is going on, and let everyone know. Let Reddit know. Let Team Liquid know. Let everyone know what is going on. And here we go, ladies and gentlemen. Let's switch it up. Thank you so much, guys, for tuning in. This is the ESL Cup. I am Draven, of course. Let's jump into it. Alright, guys, let's jump right into it. Spawning in the top right position, it is the red Zerg player from Team Liquid. It is Snute. And spawning in the top left position is the purple Terran player from OSC's Root Gaming. It is Semper. I love tea. Beg your pardon, guys, on hearing me gurgle that tea. Again, both players not doing anything cheeky at the moment. We saw an amazing player from Semper in the first game. He was trying desperately hard to pick apart Liquid Snute, and Snute was doing such a great job at holding it. He lost his fourth base, I think, 3 separate times, or got delayed 3 separate times. So Snute was against the ropes, but was able to pull it off with that amazing play at the end. So we'll see if he's going to be able to pull it off again, guys. Appreciate you all for tuning in, and we'll get this going. Semper, he likes throwing this Reaper here. I think he just, Reapers look so sick, man. I think he just does it just in case any kind of cheesy Zerg coming in. Sorry, guys, I'm trying to. Thanks, guys. Nice one from Semper, quick and easy. So far, again, sorry, guys. Nothing's really going on. It's kind of unfortunate with the start of these early games. Nothing too out of the ordinary happens. Snute going for that 3 base in 3 minutes, like he's kind of used to. Nothing too exciting. Semper going, the 2 barracks into the factory. We're going to see the starport as per usual. Ooh. Couple links coming across the map, getting good vision of that Zelnaga tower. It was actually interesting when StarCraft 2 first, showed up, and we saw all the different changes that they're making. Zelnaga Tower is one of the more debatable issues for some reason. Looks like they didn't. I don't know. It's just a huge turning point for having Zelnaga Towers, and I thought it was pretty gimmicky at the start. But I'm kind of glad they did it. I know that some maps had a lot on them, and they definitely changed it. In one game that I used to play competitively back in the late 90s, I guess, early 2000s, was the Command & Conquer. And Command & Conquer 3, Tiberian Wars, had a Zelnaga Tower replica, or basically StarCraft took it from Zelnaga, however you want to look at it. And the longer you held it, you had to hold it for a solid minute, and then after that minute, you got like 5 resources every second that you held it or something like that. And so you actually had a battle for it, and it became really important to take it. Not only did it give you vision, but it gave you minerals too. So it was actually freaking phenomenal. So I was kind of hoping they were going to do that with StarCraft 2, but they didn't. They just did the vision, which is fine. But I would have absolutely enjoyed it if they did it. Big kind of bio ball coming in from Semper, but there's a lot of queens here. And just like last time, Semper's not going to be able to push through that. He's going to get the scan, stop the creep from being spread. We saw last time Crucial fighting against Snute on this map, and kind of the same concept as Terran versus Zerg. Kind of gets put into this position. Here comes another medevac full of Marines. I don't know if they're going to join the fight or jump here in the back, but here's a Bailey nest from Snute, and the Lynx here trying to stop anything, any kind of cheeky business. 4th hatchery going down at the 3rd base from Liquid Snute, this proxy hatch, and is just doing such a good job at keeping his supply up, keeping his larva count up. Semper coming in, trying to do everything they can on top of this. The Reaper going in 3rd grenades right before the Queens were able to transfuse, which is a great job. Was able to snipe a Queen, but unfortunately wasn't able to get that much done. More Lings coming out here from Snute. The Snute upgrade for the melee and carapace is about to finish up here in the next 15 seconds. But basically at the same time, Semper is going to match him in those upgrades. And plus combat shield is about to finish for Semper. Here comes a huge drop from Semper, but Liquid Snute is ready for it. We see it coming across the map. And these Lings are here, and they're prepared for it. And Semper is just trying to find a position to get in. And a 4th base coming down from Snute. I mean, Snute's doing such a great job of taking these bases, and he's so far haven't really had much trouble. We saw previous games he was having a hard time holding his 3rd, hard time getting his 4th. But now it looks like all the Lings are coming in, going to get surrounded on the Marines. The Queens are trying to focus down the medevac. Medevac is just one more hit away from losing all this Marines in there, but here comes 2 Liberators going to try to focus down. Well, they won't be able to do much with that 4th base, but the Lings are here, the Banes are here. Bane upgrade speed is just now starting. Unfortunately for Snute, it's just a little, kind of behind. Bane's coming out on top of the creep, getting really good hits on top of Semper. Semper was not paying attention to it, and one of the medevacs gets picked off by the Queen. And here comes the Liberators. Are going to be able to focus down all these. Oh, I guess not. They decided not to go for that base, and they're going to go for that 3rd base over here. And there's a lot of Queens here. And that Liberator's going up here as well. Spire going in the back. Dang, right in that position, and the Queens can't. Oh, there they go. Transfusions go off on this Queen. Dang! He lost 3 Queens, 4 Queens so far, and a couple of drones with this attack. And here comes a side attack from Semper. Semper doing everything he can to try to pick apart Snute this time. Bane going on top of the creep, getting a couple good hits, but it's just not going to be enough. There's a huge battle army here left from Semper. Semper picking up his Marines. Going to drop him here in the back. They're focusing down those drones, and this is what I was talking about. Snute does not want to get put in this position. He's getting pulled apart in so many separate ways. Liberators coming in at the same time and going to focus this down. I don't know where the Queens are at. I don't know what to do. Reaper getting dropped. Marines getting dropped at the same time. Spore Crawler going down. Lynx trying to get this round on those Marines. We're not going to be able to. And it's going to force this army back. And it's unfortunately for Snute, he's getting picked apart in 2 separate spots. His main base is getting cleared out. And it looks like he's about to lose his main base. Mutas are flying in, which is great. They're going to focus down those Liberators. And they're going to try to drop on top of the Marines at the same time. But it looks like he's about to clear this up. Focus down the last little bit of the Liberator. And then Muta's going to fly in and snipe this medevac. Is he going to get it? The boost is up here in the next 6 seconds. And there they go. They finally finish it up, and the Muta's going to pick apart all those medevacs. And now Semper is going to be on his toes. If he doesn't have the planetary fortress like he's had in the past. He doesn't have any turrets at this main base either, his third base. And so all of these links are going to kind of go in uncontested, not to mention the mutas that are flying around. A lot of damage being done for Snute. Links coming in, they might get into the main base, but here comes Banes. Not enough Banes with this army. More Banes are coming in, more mutas are coming in. And great bottlenecking from Snute. And these Banes land on top of those Marines, destroying Semper's third base. And I don't know if Semper's going to be able to hold this much longer. Mutas are going into the base, but getting destroyed by the Marines. Widowmine coming in, landing on top of the Overseer. Great dodging by Snute. And Semper's third base gets completely destroyed by Snute. And Snute takes game number 2, throwing Semper out of the tournament and forcing Snute, and Snute moves on to the semifinals. Great play from both players. And we see, and guys, jump into the brackets if you guys want to check it out. Next matchup is going to be Snute again versus Azura. And spoiler alert, Beyond takes out Hellraiser, so it's going to be Beyond versus whoever wins with Azure and Snute in the semifinals. Guys, we're going to throw it to a quick break as we get this up and running. Appreciate you guys tuning in. And let's see. This is Snute's mentality right now. And I'm throwing it to a quick break. I'll be right back. Thanks guys so much.